The action camera market in 2026 is more crowded, more confusing, and more dishonest than it has ever been. Brands slap 4K labels on cameras that cannot actually deliver usable 4K footage. Stabilization claims are tested on smooth surfaces and marketed as extreme conditions performance. And budget options flood the market with specs that sound competitive on paper and disappoint immediately in the field. Most buyers get it wrong, not because they failed to research, but because the information they find is designed to sell rather than to inform. Today, that changes. We are counting down the only 10 action cameras in 2026 that genuinely earn their place. From budget-friendly picks that destroy what you think entry-level image quality looks like, to a number one that has redefined what the entire category is capable of producing. Whether you are documenting weekend adventures on a tight budget or building a professional content creation setup that demands zero compromise, this list covers every scenario. Stay until number one. That camera is genuinely something the industry was not ready for. Number 10. Akaso Brave 7. Let us start with the truth that established action camera brands have spent years and significant marketing budgets trying to make you forget. The Akaso Brave 7 LE is the proof that compelling action footage does not require a brand name premium to cease, and that the gap between what a budget camera costs to manufacture and what premium brands charge for an equivalent experience is wider than any specification justifies. The Brave 7 LE shoots 4K at 30 FPS with electronic image stabilization that handles everyday adventure scenarios, hiking, cycling, casual water sports, with a smoothness that makes the footage genuinely watchable rather than the motion sick slideshow that unstabilized budget cameras produce. The touchscreen interface eliminates the menu navigation frustration that plagued earlier budget action cameras, bringing the configuration experience closer to the premium tier without the premium price. IPX7 waterproofing to 40 meters with the included housing means this camera survives the water environments that action cameras are most commonly used in without requiring an additional case purchase that would push the total cost past the premium competitors it undercuts. The dual-screen design, front and rear displays on Domixmisens, enables accurate selfie and vlogging framing that single-screen alternatives cannot provide without awkward guesswork. Wi-Fi connectivity and the companion app allow wireless file transfer and remote control from a smartphone. At around $89, the Akaso Brave 7 LE is the most accessible entry on this list. It does not compete with what sits above it. What it does is remove every excuse for not documenting your adventures at all. Number 9. Dragon Touch Vision 4. Here is the machine for the buyer who understands that value is not determined by what a product costs. It is determined by what a product delivers relative to what it costs. The Dragon Touch Vision 4 exists in a price bracket where most action cameras offer a degraded version of a premium experience and call it a budget alternative. The Vision 4 takes a different approach. It focuses engineering resources on the features that directly determine footage quality, rather than spreading capability thin across a long marketing bullet list. The 4K resolution at 30 FPS with a 6-axis electronic gyroscope stabilization system produces footage stability that the price bracket has historically been unable to deliver. The gyroscope compensation handles multi-axis movement simultaneously, addressing the vertical, horizontal, and rotational shake that single-axis stabilization leaves visible in fast-moving footage. The 170-degree ultra-wide angle lens captures the full environmental context of adventure footage that narrower lenses crop out. The field of view that makes action footage feel immersive rather than claustrophobic. Slow motion capture at 1080p FOV and 120 FPS produces footage with a cinematic weight that transforms ordinary moments into visually compelling sequences. The included mounting accessories, chest harness, helmet mount, handlebar mount, and wrist strap provide a complete deployment kit that premium brands charge separately for. At around $59, the Dragon Touch Vision 4 is the machine that makes the case that $60 is enough to start capturing footage worth keeping. Number 8. Campark ACT74. The Campark ACT74 occupies exactly the right position in the budget action camera market. The point at which a camera stops being a compromise and starts being a genuinely capable tool for the creator who needs reliable performance without the financial commitment that established brands demand. Campark has built a reputation in the budget segment by prioritizing the specifications that directly affect real-world footage quality over the headline numbers that win specification comparisons but disappoint in actual use. The 4K resolution at 60 FPS is the ACT74's most significant capability advantage over comparable budget alternatives. 4K 60 footage captures motion with a fluidity that 4K 30 cannot match, producing action sequences where fast movement is rendered cleanly rather than with the frame blur that lower frame rates introduce. The Sony IMX sensor inside the ACT74 is the honest signal that Campark is engineering for image quality rather than cost reduction. Sony's image sensors are the benchmark for action camera imaging, and their presence in a camera at this price reflects a deliberate component choice that directly benefits every frame of footage the camera captures. Built-in image stabilization handles the vibration and movement that action environments generate, and the 40-meter waterproof housing included in the package means the camera is deployable in water immediately without additional accessories. The 2-inch touchscreen provides responsive menu navigation and accurate framing review. Dual battery configuration with a charging dock means extended shooting sessions are uninterrupted by a single battery's runtime limitation. At around $79, the Campark ACT74 is the Sony sensor advantage, delivered at a price that makes the decision straightforward. Number 7. DJI Osmo Action 5. This is where the list crosses a threshold that changes the nature of the conversation entirely. The DJI Osmo Action 5 is not competing with the budget cameras below it. It is competing with the premium tier above it, and it closes that gap with engineering precision and software intelligence that DJI's decade of stabilization technology development enables in a way that no budget manufacturer can replicate. DJI's Rocksteady 3.0 electronic image stabilization is the headline feature, and it earns that status. The 3-axis stabilization algorithm compensates for movement with a smoothness that first-time users consistently describe as disorienting. Footage that should shake does not, and the result is video that looks like it was shot with gimbal support from a camera worn on a body in motion. The 4K resolution at 120 FPS unlocks slow motion capture at full resolution, a capability that competitors achieve only at 1080p, producing slow motion footage that degrades in quality precisely when the subject matter demands the most visual detail. The 10-meter native waterproofing without a housing case is a practical engineering achievement that reframes how action cameras are deployed in water environments. No housing to assemble, no seal to check, no case to scratch or lose. The dual screen design with front and rear displays provides real-time framing accuracy for both first-person and self-facing capture. The companion DJI Mimo app integration provides editing, color grading, and sharing capabilities that reduce post-production friction for creators who want to move from capture to published content efficiently. At around $199, the DJI Osmo Action 5 is the point at which action camera performance stops being a limitation on the stories you can tell. Number 6. Insta360 GO 3S. The Insta360 GO 3S is the machine that answers a question the rest of this list never addresses. What if the best action camera footage comes not from the camera you remember to bring, but from the one so small and so light that you never leave it behind? The GO 3S weighs 35 grams. It is smaller than a thumb drive, and it shoots 4K video with stabilization and image quality that cameras 10 times its size and 3 times its price struggle to match on footage captured in the environments where compactness makes the difference between capturing a moment and missing it entirely. The magnetic mounting system eliminates the bracket and screw deployment process that conventional action cameras require, enabling 1-second attachment and detachment from any magnetic mount surface. Clothing, helmets, glasses frames, chest harnesses, and handlebars all become viable mounting positions in seconds rather than minutes. The flow state stabilization technology produces horizon-leveled, shake-compensated footage from a camera small enough to be genuinely forgotten on the wrist. The stabilization quality does not scale with camera size. It scales with algorithm sophistication, and Insta360's algorithm sophistication is class-leading at every price point the brand occupies. The Action Pod case extends battery life, adds a flip-out touchscreen for live framing, and provides a grip format that makes the GO 3S deployable as a conventional handheld camera when the mounting scenario demands it. The invisible selfie stick effect, where Insta360 software removes the mount from 360-aware shots, produces POV footage with a perspective that conventional action cameras physically cannot achieve. At around $269, the Insta360 GO 3S is not the right camera for every shooter on this list. But for the creator who values the footage they capture over the footage they plan to capture, nothing else on this list understands that distinction as clearly. Number 5. GoPro Hero 12 Black. The GoPro Hero 12 Black is the machine that built the action camera category, and in 2026, it continues to justify its place in the conversation by delivering the most mature, most refined, and most ecosystem-complete action camera experience available at its price point. GoPro did not invent the action camera. It invented the action camera culture, the mounting systems, the software workflow, the content format expectations, and the community of creators that every competitor on this list has been built in response to. That heritage is not nostalgia. It is infrastructure. The Hero. The 12 Black shoots 5.3K at 60 FPS and 4K at 120 FPS. Resolution and frame rate combinations that produce footage with the detailed density and slow motion capability that the camera's physical size has no business delivering. Hypersmooth 6.0 stabilization with horizon lock maintains level footage through rotations that would defeat mechanical gimbal systems. The algorithm compensates for full barrel rolls while maintaining the frame orientation that the shooter intended. The 5.3K resolution provides enough pixel density to punch in during post-production and reframe shots without visible quality degradation, giving editors creative flexibility that lower resolution footage permanently forecloses. The Max Lens Mod 2.0 compatibility expands the field of view to 177 degrees with full stabilization active, the widest stabilized field of view available in any action camera at any price. Night mode performance on the Hero 12 Black produces usable low-light footage that earlier action camera generations could not approach, expanding the shooting window beyond the golden hour conditions that previously defined the format's limitations. The GoPro subscription ecosystem, cloud backup, automatic highlight editing, and unlimited storage, reduces the post-production burden for high-volume shooters significantly. At around $299, the GoPro Hero 12 Black is the action camera ecosystem that every creator understands and every mounting system is designed for. For builders of established GoPro setups, it is the seamless upgrade. For new buyers entering the premium tier, it is the reference point everything else is measured against. Number 4. DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. The DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro takes everything that made the standard Osmo Action 5 a compelling mid-tier choice and elevates every specification that professional creators identify as the ceiling of the non-pro variant's capability. This is DJI operating without compromise, a camera built for creators who have outgrown the limitations of every action camera they have previously owned and need a tool that keeps pace with their ambition rather than constraining it. The enlarged sensor is the foundation of every image quality improvement the 5 Pro delivers over its sibling. A larger sensor collects more light per pixel, produces shallower depth of field in appropriate conditions, handles dynamic range with more gradation between highlight and shadow detail, and performs in low-light environments with a noise floor that smaller sensor designs cannot approach. The practical result is footage that retains detail in the shadows of a forest canopy, preserves highlight information in direct sunlight, and produces usable footage in the transition between the two simultaneously. The real-world shooting condition that action cameras encounter most frequently and handle least convincingly. The 4K resolution at 120 FPS with Rocksteady 3.0 and Horizon Steady stabilization active simultaneously produces footage that is simultaneously detail-rich, motion-smooth, and horizon-level. 3 qualities that previous generation action cameras delivered only in trade-off with each other rather than concurrently. The 10-meter native waterproofing without housing, dual touchscreen design, and DJI Mimo integration carry forward from the standard model. The Pro variant adds imaging capability, without subtracting the practical deployment advantages that make the Osmo Action line the most operator-friendly professional action camera series available. D-Log-M color profile recording provides a flat, wide, dynamic range footage format optimized for professional color grading, a feature set previously available only in cinema camera workflows, delivered in a camera worn on a helmet at 80 km per hour. At around $279, the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro is the finest value proposition in the professional action camera tier. It delivers imaging performance that the format has never made this accessible. Number 3. Insta360 X4. The Insta360 X4 is the machine that forces a complete rethinking of what an action camera is supposed to capture. Because 360-degree video does not record a moment the way a conventional camera does. It records the entire environment simultaneously, and the creative implications of that difference are only fully understood once you have edited footage that lets you reframe, pan, and direct attention in post-production, rather than in the field. The X4 shoots 8K 360-degree video, a resolution that at first sounds like specification excess until the reframing workflow reveals why it is necessary. When 360-degree footage is reframed into a conventional 16:9 or 9:16 output, the output resolution is determined by the source resolution divided by the reframing crop. At 8K source, a fully reframed 4K output retains every detail with no visible quality penalty. The 360-degree capture becomes a 4K camera that can be pointed in any direction after the fact, from a single shooting position without any decision made in the field about where to aim. Flow state stabilization in the X4 performs horizon correction and shake compensation across the full 360-degree sphere. The mathematical challenge of stabilizing footage captured in every direction simultaneously is solved with an algorithm sophistication that no conventional camera stabilization system is designed to address. The invisible selfie stick effect produces footage perspectives, true ground-level shots, orbit shots, overhead bird's-eye perspectives, that physically require drone or crane rigs in conventional production, but are achieved in the X4 by exploiting the full field of view to computationally remove the mount from the frame entirely. Waterproofing to 10 meters native, a 2.5-inch touchscreen, and compatibility with Insta360's full mounting ecosystem make the X4 deployable in every environment and mounting configuration that conventional action cameras support, while delivering creative flexibility that none of them can access. At around $499, the Insta360 X4 is not the right choice for every creator on this list. But for the creator who has felt constrained by having to choose a single angle before capturing a moment they cannot repeat, the X4 eliminates that constraint permanently. Number 2. GoPro Hero 13 Black. The GoPro Hero 13 Black is the machine that GoPro built when it decided to answer every legitimate criticism that the enthusiast community had accumulated about the Hero 12 in a single generation update. And the result is the most complete, most capable, and most versatile GoPro ever produced. This is GoPro removing every remaining argument for looking elsewhere in the premium action camera tier. The modular lens ecosystem is the Hero 13's defining advancement. The magnetic swappable lens system allows the camera's field of view and optical characteristics to be changed in seconds without tools. The ultra-wide lens captures 177 degrees for maximum environmental immersion. The macro lens enables close focus detail capture previously impossible in the action camera format. The anamorphic lens produces the 2.4.1 widescreen cinematic aspect ratio, with genuine anamorphic lens flare characteristics that cinema productions pay thousands of dollars per day to achieve. The optical flexibility that professional cinema setups require multiple dedicated cameras and substantial investment to access is delivered in a single, wearable package through a magnetic swap that takes 3 seconds. Hypersmooth 6.0 with auto boost stabilization analyzes footage content in real time to apply the appropriate stabilization strength. Lighter stabilization for deliberately dynamic footage, maximum compensation for involuntary camera movement, without requiring manual profile selection between shots. The 5.3K resolution at 60 FPS and 4K at 120 FPS carry forward the Hero 12's resolution advantage, now paired with the significantly improved low-light sensor that extends usable shooting conditions into environments that the Hero 12 handled with visible compromise. Enduro battery technology delivers 30% longer runtime than the Hero 12 standard battery in cold temperatures, a practical advancement for the mountain, winter sport, and expedition environments where action cameras are most demanding to operate. The GP Log 1 color profile provides a flat gamma recording format designed for professional color grading workflows, bridging the gap between action camera convenience and cinema production flexibility. At around $399, the GoPro Hero 13 Black is the finest conventional action camera GoPro has produced. For creators invested in the GoPro ecosystem, it is the camera the Hero line has been building toward. For creators evaluating the premium tier for the first time, it sets a standard that demands a compelling answer. Number 1. DJI Osmo Action 6 Pro. The DJI Osmo Action 6 Pro is not simply the best action camera of 2026. It is the camera that resets the standard for what the format is capable of producing, and does so with such completeness across imaging performance, stabilization technology, and operational intelligence that the competition requires a generational response rather than a feature update to close the gap. DJI built the Osmo Action 6 Pro around a conviction that action camera footage has historically been limited not by the environments it is captured in, but by the technology recording it, and that removing those technological limitations is an engineering problem worth solving without compromise. The flagship 1/3 inch sensor is the foundation of the 6 Pro's imaging superiority, larger than any sensor previously deployed in an action camera form factor, and engineered to deliver a dynamic range and low-light performance that crosses from action camera territory into mirrorless camera territory in meaningful real-world shooting conditions. Shadow detail that competing cameras render as black is graduated and recoverable in the 6 Pro's footage. Highlight information that other cameras clip to white is retained with chromatic and luminance accuracy that preserves the full tonal range of the scene. In mixed light conditions, the interior to exterior transitions, the tree canopy filtered sunlight, the sunset golden hour into blue hour progression, the 6 Pro produces footage that holds detail across the full luminance range simultaneously. No previous action camera at any price has managed this with consistency. The 4K resolution at a 120 FPS and 8K resolution at 30 FPS options provide frame rate flexibility that covers every creative requirement from ultra-smooth, real-time capture to maximum detail archival footage with slow motion capability that does not sacrifice resolution to achieve it. Rocksteady 4.0 represents a genuine generational advancement over the 3.0 system deployed in the Osmo Action 5 Pro. The stabilization algorithm incorporates predictive motion modeling alongside reactive compensation, anticipating movement patterns rather than only responding to them. The result is stabilization performance that handles the most aggressive action sports scenarios: mountain biking on technical terrain, surfing and breaking waves, motorsport vibration profiles, with a smoothness that previous Rocksteady generations could approach only in moderate activity environments. Horizon Steady with 360-degree rotation compensation maintains level horizon framing through complete barrel rolls with no stabilization degradation, a performance benchmark that defines what software-defined optical correction is capable of when the underlying sensor data quality is high enough to support it. The 10-meter native waterproofing without housing